In this video, I'm going to show you pro techniques that you can use as an amateur player. Specifically, we're going to be looking at how the pros avoid the net to reduce the errors in their play. We're going to go over 3 different scenarios that the pros work on. One is their third shot drops. We're going to look at how they hit their third shot drops to make sure they don't hit the net. We're also going to look at how they're able to reset balls successfully without hitting the ball into the net. And we're going to look at how they're able to dink successfully without their dinks landing in the net. Let's get into it. Let's go ahead and dive into some match play to show you the difference between how pros hit these specific shots, the third shot drop, the reset shot, and the dink, and compare that to how amateurs hit the exact same shot, and we'll see which one we want to hit. Mistake number one that most amateur players make that the pros make a lot less is risking the net on a dink. So a lot of amateur players will dink really low, barely over the net. So they dink like this, really super low, kind of risking the net every time. And what ends up happening is you end up potentially hitting the net. Instead of risking the net every time like that, super low, right? Consider lifting the ball more. So consider lifting the ball and letting it drop over. Think of it like a toss, like you're tossing the ball over. That's what the pros use in their dinks. Now, if you don't want to get smashed with the ball, all you got to do is move it around a little bit. So you dink it over there, where Kylene has to move, and then I can dink it over here, where Kylene has to move. But I'm not risking the net with any of these shots. So if you want to fix your dinks, consider lifting them like that over the net. If you're enjoying this content, consider subscribing to the channel. We bring you actionable content just like this that you can use to radically improve your play. Mistake number 2 is similar to mistake number 1, but it's a little bit different because it has to do with when you're in trouble. When you're in trouble, you want to pay particular attention to the net and really make sure that you're not bringing it into play. So what happens is when players are pushed aggressively, so Kylene's going to push me on this one a little bit, right? Push me a little more, Kylene. Right, so what happens is players do that, right? So they hit that ball low and hit it into the net as I did there, right? Or they do something like this. You can push me whenever you're ready, Colleen. Or they'll sit there and they'll, I'm in trouble, and they do that, right? So end up hitting the net or potentially out, even if it clears the net. So instead of doing that, if you're in trouble, right? Then what you want to do is respect the net, see? And really, the more trouble you're in, the higher your shot's going to be. So the more trouble I'm in, the more I'm going to lift that ball. See how high that ball was? But I can live again, and I get to live again. Now I'm back up to the non-volley zone line, and I don't have any problems. So when I'm in trouble, right, get pulled out wide one way or the other way, and I'm just under duress, elevate the ball more, because that's what the pros do whenever they're in trouble. If you're making a lot of errors in your game, consider joining us for our Unforced Errors course so you can learn how to play more like that, because if you reduce the errors in your game, you're going to improve your win percentage. I'll put a link up there, and I'll see you in class. This is the one y'all been waiting for. This is mistake number 3. Happens back here in the third shot, whether it's back here or inside the court a little bit. Amateur players oftentimes risk the net by thinking that they need to hit this shot really low over the net. When you watch pro matches, pros are hitting those third shots well above their partners, sometimes who are 6 and change, right? Super high, and they're playing against the best players on the planet. Okay, they can hit it high, we can hit it high. So amateurs will hit their third shots like this, right? Everybody wants to hit their third shot super low like that. The problem is, when you hit it low like that, right? Then eventually, well, it's hard for me to miss, but I'll miss one, don't worry. Eventually what happens is you hit it low, right? I still can't miss that one, all right? But it's missable, you'll see. So I end up hitting the net, right? So I go low, I risk the net, I end up hitting the net. The reason the pros don't mess around with third shots like that, because there's no money in that, is because they don't want to mess around the net. So they throw their third shots up like this, even higher. When you see them farther back, they throw up even higher because their main objective is to clear the net. They know that even though Kylene's a good player and Kylene might be able to even do something with that ball, they know that the one player they can't beat is gonna be that net. So when I'm back here, I'm gonna lift it higher, right? Because I don't wanna hit that net. And then I'm gonna lift it a little bit lower. And as I get closer, now I can start dropping it a little bit lower until I'm up at the non-volley zone line and I'm set up. So if you wanna improve your third shots and hit them more like pro players do, consider raising the height of your shots as they clear the net. The more margin you give yourself over the net on your thirds, the less chance that you'll end up missing it into the net, giving you a better chance of getting up to the non-volley zone line. So now you know 3 common mistakes that amateurs make that the pros don't make. And if you can start layering into your game, you'll start avoiding missing the net as often as you are. If you're interested in further reducing your unforced errors, I'll put a course right here we have inside our academy that has to do with unforced errors, the net and other errors that are affecting your play. And I'm also gonna put a link down here to another video to continue your education. I'll see you in the next video.